everybody. We are going to get on here and use some fabulous buffalo plaid tonight. I am so obsessed with this, and I hope you guys can join me, and let's just make something pretty tonight. So let's see. I'm going to bring you up. Yep, there we go. I got everybody up there. Great. Let me just turn you just a smidge here to kind of straighten you out. I hope that will look a little bit better. We'll see. But thanks for jumping on here. Okay, I don't think that straightened out that much. So let's do this again. And that is, I use an iPhone, guys. I'm not that technical. I'm a mom with kids, and yeah, this is as technical as it's gonna get. So we're gonna jump right in. And if you have watched any of my Facebook stories, my Instagram stories, have you been on my Facebook business page, just look up Julie's Wreath Boutique. I have been sharing about this fabulous new buffalo check plaid that you can find at Hobby Lobby. Now, it is $9.99 a roll, but this week it's 50% off. So if you're watching this later on YouTube and you say, hey, it's not 50% off, guess what? Next week it will be. So let me just show you really quick what we are going to learn tonight. We're going to learn how to make this cutie here, and I am just loving it. My friend said add a pop of color, and so we did I'm going to show you how to do a rosette, but we're going to use this. So it's a little bit different. There's no glue in this rosette, and we're going to learn basically a new way to cut this burlap to make it look like a flower. So I'm catching on here, trying to find your guys' comments. Hey everybody. So let's get started. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe, because all of my Facebook Lives go from Facebook to YouTube. So make sure you like and subscribe. Okay, so let's get started. And okay, what will you need? I am going to use a 10-inch wreath frame tonight, okay? Listen, if you want to use like a 12-inch wreath frame, go right ahead. It's not a big deal. And I just have to see here. Oh my goodness. My cord is messed up. Here, I got it now. Trying to get a frame to show you, to kind of show you the difference. But we are going to use a 10-inch wreath frame. Now, if you don't want to order one of these wreath frames this weekend only, what is the date today? What, July the 12th? And it's 2019 that I'm recording this. And I got an email this morning that consumercrafts.com are selling everything on their site with free shipping this weekend only. So these wreath frames, I'm telling you guys, are $1.57. You cannot buy a better wreath frame. It's just a very sturdy wreath frame. It's from Doris, and I use this. If you watch any of my videos, if you like Julie's Wreath Boutique on YouTube, go ahead and order yourself some of these, because I'm going to teach you with a 10-inch wreath frame, and it's just a great option. Best thing out there and most affordable thing to use to make wreaths these days. Okay, here's the thing. If you're going to use a 10-inch frame, you will need 2 of these. If you want to say use a 12-inch frame that you can pick up from like Hobby Lobby or Michael's, then I would suggest you buy in 3 of these, okay? So if you don't want to order online, that's okay. You can get the frame at the store. And again, if you use like the 14-inch, again, get an extra roll, because you just want to make sure you have enough burlap. So I'm going to set this aside. And as you can see, most of my wreaths, not all of them, but for this wreath, we're just going to cut a piece of plastic canvas. It's very bendable. It's the 5 mesh. You're going to just cut out a piece, and it doesn't need to look perfect. As you can see, mine does not look perfect. And I just zip tie it all the way around, okay? So there, done. You're prepped. So how do we cut this? We are going to cut this at an angle, and that is how you are going to get your petal. We are just going to use a simple rotary cutter. And it's very important to have a mat like this if you're using a rotary cutter. You can do scissors. If you do not have a rotary cutter, you can definitely use scissors. You just might want to use like a ruler to help you measure, okay? So the important thing is that we need it about 10 inches long. So I am going to cut it at an angle over here, and I'm going to cut it, let's see, we're going to cut it at an angle at 2 inches. So I start at the 10-inch mark, but I'm going to end at the 12-inch mark. So that is my cut. So I want that cut there. I need that angle, but this is important. That has to be at the 10-inch mark or 1-inch mark or whatever you do, okay? Because we're going to do a 10-inch length here. But because of my mat and the way it's at, I'm going to talk 10 inches to 20 inches. So I hope that's not confusing, and I know I'm doing the talking hands tonight. So listen, what you're going to do here is you're going to go, so that's the 10-inch mark. I'm going to go to the 18-inch mark, okay? And I'm going to start here. Let me turn it around. And I'm going to end at the 20-inch mark. Okay? Do you see what I'm doing? Let's do that again. See the angles? These angles are important. We're not cutting a straight line. We're going to cut at an angle. So let's do the 10-inch again. I've already got that because we already cut it. So you're just going to cut at the 18 and end it at the 20. And if it's a little over by a smidge, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. So, and now you can kind of see, you can just keep going with this. And it's very important too, when I was looking at these rolls today, that you pay attention to the way they stitched them, because some rolls were kind of stitched kind of sloppy. And so if you're going to use 2 rolls, you really want them to be as uniform as you possibly can get them. So I'm just kind of throwing that out to you. You know how things are made, and sometimes they don't always look alike. So we're going to just cut a few more of these out to make sure we have enough. And I think this should be about it. Okay, so we'll put this to the side, and if we need it later, we'll cut some more. So I'm going to put this is what we're going to use for our rose, but I've told you about that. That's going to be at the end. So I'm trying to see. Everybody's asking me how I'm feeling. If you're just catching on, I just had surgery 2 weeks ago I have a significant hearing loss, and we are just, it's been a journey to get better, but we're getting there. So let's get back to the wreath. So anyhow, the first space that I'm going to talk about is when I show you these wreath frames, they all have sections, okay? And the sections are fairly similar between a 10-inch, 12-inch, 8-inch, the size. So whatever I put in this section is what you would put in like a 12-inch wreath or maybe a 14-inch wreath if you want to make it bigger, okay? And so there's no extra petals, it's just another section. So what we're going to work on in this frame is this row, not the outer, and you could do the outer. I had an idea of taking white poly burlap or cream poly burlap and putting petals out on this row, but I know that it's kind of in short supply right now, so you can't find it everywhere. But I just want to be clear, we're going to work on this row first, and then we're going to work on this row, and then the next row we'll be actually on the grid itself. So you're really just going to be working on these 2 rows right here, just so you know. We're going to do the crossbar section first. So I'm just going to take a zip tie and I'm going to place it in between, okay? So that I'm just going to lay there. I'm going to take, let's see, come on. The outer row is always hard to get that to stay. So you're just going to take you've got your long points and your short points. We want to take our short points. We're not going to fold anything. We're just going to gather it. Okay? And I think you could do this method with other burlap. You don't have to use just this burlap. There was a wreath probably a couple years ago that was really popular, and I think that this is similar to the method she probably used. So you're going to just fold that up. We'll do that again, and I'll show you. And I'm just going to set it here, and I'm going to zip tie it. Okay. Take your clippers and cut it. I was going to wait a few days before I did this, but I had such a response of everybody was going out and buying their burlap. I just thought, well, let's just get this done. All right, so we're going to take another one, and I'm going to go to this cross bracket and put my zip tie in. And again, you're going to do from short point to short point, and you're just going to gather. Okay, see what you have there? All right, you're going to take it, and you're going to fold it up. And it's not going to be a perfect petal point. You could really experiment with this. You could do an 8-inch length instead of a 10-inch, but again, that would make it a little bit shorter. So I didn't want to make it too short. So we're going to do bracket, bracket, and then we're going to do in between the brackets. Now, I only put one petal in between these two brackets, okay? You could put, if you want to use more of this burlap, go right ahead and do 2 if you want to put 2. Don't feel like you have to do just 1. If you want to do 2, go ahead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing, same method. Pull them up. It's that petal technique, but this is using it with a different shape of material. This isn't your 10 by 10 that we usually use. You know, pull that up. So that is your first bar, okay? And this is that bracket. So what I'm going to do now is, because I already have one that already has all of this done on the outside, I'm going to skip forward as if we've already put them all the way around. So what you would continue to do is do bracket, middle, bracket, middle, bracket, middle, and then middle, okay? So pretend that we've already done that part, and now we're going to focus on the next row. So again, I've talked about how these have sections. So we've already done this section. So now we're going to do this section. That section is going to have 3 of these petals as well. So we're going to do 1 here, 1 here, and then 1 on the middle. Now, why do I do the 1 in the middle last? Because I want those petals to lay on the outside petals. So let's just go right ahead and lay our little, you know, zip tie there, and gather your burlap. And I want you to be really careful with this, because this will tend to fray if you work with it too much. You just want to form that petal and put it on your wreath frame, and then you don't want to touch it again, because at the end of all of this, I'm going to spray it with rust-oleum clear acrylic spray. Okay, and that will stiffen up the petals for you, and it will also help with any like fading from the sun. So, all right, I haven't hardly looked at everybody's comments. I tend to go back at the end, and you know what? I'm looking at this and I did this in the wrong spot. So I was supposed to do it right here. So let's go back and do this again. Again, this is not, nobody's perfect, and if you want to watch perfection, you're watching the wrong person, because I am not perfect. So we all mess up. So let me just quickly put a petal where I should have put it. And then we'll go on. Okay. Yeah, I got distracted. I was trying to look at your comments. All the lovely people that hop on. Listen, it's July. Okay, it's July 2019. If you're watching this video and it's December 2019, I apologize, but it's July. And right now, if you like the way I teach here, you'll really like the premium tutorials that I offer in my Etsy shop. And right now, those are all on sale. It's my Christmas in July sale. So the link is at the top of this. You will get 10% off of those tutorials. And I do have 3 groups, a Christmas tree group, a marigold and apple blossom group, and the flower trio group, where I teach you even more designs based on those techniques. So it's really worth your money. If you haven't checked it out and have wanted to, this is really a great month to buy those. If it's not July 2019, I apologize if you're watching this a little late, but I do have sales from time to time. Okay, so let's do this. So we put 1 here. Now we're going to put 1 over here, because we're doing that section. It's very important to keep those sections. So what you could do this 2 different ways, okay? You could do the outside rim all the way around, if that's what you wanted to do. Or you could do like what I'm doing right here and do a section at a time. The important thing is that we're not laying our arms and our hands all over this burlap, so that it won't get handled in a way that it would cause it to fray. And I've taught classes about a year or 2 ago. I would do classes here in my area. And that's what I found that happened the most, is people laid their arms, they kind of flipped the wreath over back and forth. And that's where you're going to get a lot of your fraying. Even if you were working with poly burlap, you really need to be very consistent of not like laying your arms on everything. So here is the second part, okay? So what am I going to do here is I'm going to jump forward, because you guys, it's Friday night. There's other things to do on a Friday night than watch me, okay? And if you're on YouTube, I know a lot of people like it when we skip ahead. So basically what I've done is I've put one here, and I go back in the middle. And then I did that on the outside. That would be your outside ring. So we did to the next ring, and then we didn't put anything on the cross brackets. We just put 1, 2, 3, okay? And we did that all the way around. So that's what this is. At this point, if you had a big enough center and you wanted to just leave it at that, you could just leave it and be done. But we're not going to stop there, okay? We're going to keep going. So what I want to do is, at this point, you're going to take, I want to say I'm going to go about 1 inch in, and I'm going to just set my zip tie here, set it up. See where I have that? It's really more of 1.5 inches, okay? I'm going to take one of my pieces. Let's see here. Let's move it around. If it gets a little blurry, I apologize. When you move things around, sometimes it's harder for the camera to focus, and there's just not a whole lot I can do about that. I will do my best to keep it as still as possible. Okay, and then I'm just going to set it in there. Can you see that? And I'm going to zip tie it. Now, when I originally made the first one, I set these too close to this. I did it like right here, and it just didn't work. It didn't give the burlap enough room to breathe or to move. It just kind of smushed it down, and we don't want to smush all this down. So we're going to do another one, and we're just going to keep doing these all the way till we get around the circle. So I'm going to just put a few of these zip ties in. And to try to keep it, I'm trying to keep it kind of pretty consistent, I guess. It's not going to be a perfect circle. I don't think I've ever made a perfect circle when I'm freestyling it, but that's okay. It always looks good at the end. That's all that matters. You know, it's just, that's all you need. So take your little petal and just place it in. And now the very inside, and you could do a couple things here. You could make the center, and I added one more row of petals. You could, but you could leave it at this and have a bigger center. So we're gonna look at different options tonight. Okay, we're not gonna just make a wreath and say, oh, this is the way it's gonna be. I want you to use your imagination. I want you to make these wreaths. What I teach you on YouTube, I want you to make, and I want you to either sell it or give it away, make it for a loved one, enjoy it, make it for your home, but I want you to sell them, you know, or give them away. This is not the channel that you can't make anything I make. I want you to do it. That's why I'm here. Okay, so we're going to add some more, and we're just going to keep going, and I'm going to keep chatting. As you know, if you follow me on Facebook, everybody, you guys are awesome. Thank you. I appreciate all the sweet mentions of getting better, and you're praying for me. I so appreciate it, and I so feel that. So thank you so much. But I'm just going to keep chatting. I'm going to tell you a story as I keep doing this. Tonight I got home, and the kids were, you know, they're 5 and 7. They're driving me a little nuts. Let's be honest. If you're a mom, you know it. If you didn't know, I'll be married 26 years. I'm an older mom. And I already have older children. And so, anyways, these are our late in life blessings. Let's just put it that way. These are our little miracles. And so they were kind of getting on my nerves. And so Madeline, I was getting clothes out of the dryer, and Madeline just comes downstairs. And this is who she is. It really is who she is. She goes, Mommy, is there anything I can do to help you? And I'm telling you, in that moment, it just so melted my heart that I was just like, oh, sweetheart, thank you. And I think I had her do something. I forget what I had her do. I think I had her take something upstairs for me. And so then my little 5-year-old says, he's a little boy, his name is Crosby. He says, Mommy, I want to do a spa for you. And I said, oh, really? And, you know, I've had headaches and everything, and it's been harder to get back to normal. And so I went and I sat down in the living room in the chair, and they had some lotion, and Crosby got out the lotion and just put a whole bunch on his hands and started slathering them on my feet and just rubbing my feet. And it was just such a sweet memory. And Madeline started rubbing my hands. And you know what? It just helped. It helped me slow down. It helped me, you know, remember that I'm very blessed and I'm thankful. Even though when I get frazzled, you know, it's okay. Life's going to be all right. And so anyways, I just thought I'd share that with you. It was just sweet. You know, kids I think they can sense when they might be getting on mom's nerves, and then they do stuff like that, and you're just kind of like, okay, I what a sweet thing, you know? So I'm just going to put a couple of these zip ties in here to hopefully get this. We're going to put a few more in, and I'll count how many petals we did in the middle here for you in a moment. So I think I'm going to do about 4 more. So how many will that be? That would be 10 petals in the middle. Again, if you did a 12-inch, you're going to have more petals in the middle. So instead of 10 petals, you might be using 12 petals. So, and I know this is kind of confusing, but for me, I got to just watch what I'm doing, and I'll be fine. I probably, you know, unless you're really good with the zip ties, you probably want to put the zip ties one at a time. I'm just trying to hurry it along just a little bit for you guys. And so anyhow, but let me know, what are you doing? What are your plans for this summer? Are you guys going on vacation? Have you gone on vacation? What did you do for July the 4th? We just did a kind of a family get-together barbecue or whatnot with my dad and my stepmom, and we had a good time. So, alrighty. So, also, Etsy's making some big changes. Let's talk about Etsy. Oops, I just pulled that out. How did I do that? See? You see my mistake? Don't do what I just did. Okay? So let's put another one in here. I just totally pulled that out. I guess it was the Etsy talk. It's July of 2019, and Etsy is now going to force a lot of you, and I say force because if you are new on Etsy, if you haven't sold much on Etsy, they're going to pretty much force you to offer free shipping. Now, what basically they're telling you to do, just add that shipping cost into your product. So by doing that, when you can't have, you know, some people like to do calculated shipping. Well, if you can't do calculated shipping, some people are going to end up paying more for their shipping by adding that into the cost. And what they've said is if you're a seller on Etsy, you're going to have to promise a free shipping guarantee, so that, and then in returns, we'll bump you up in the search. So if you don't offer free shipping, you don't get that advantage on Etsy, which is frustrating. So let's see, what am I telling my people I consult with? So if you didn't know, I have, let's see, right now, as of July 18th, or July of 2019, I have 5,800 sales on Etsy. So I'm not really worried about my shop because I have a good social media, and I drive people to my Etsy shop. And I'm sure Etsy gets me some traffic, but my stats show that I drive my stuff to Etsy. If you are new to Etsy, or if you're a seller on Etsy, and you haven't sold a whole lot, it really is kind of forcing your hand. into having to offer that free shipping. And on top of that, shipping rates changed the end of June, which adds a whole nother dilemma for sellers on Etsy, which is kind of frustrating. So I'm going to pause that conversation and show you something else. Okay, so at this point, you can say, I'm done. I don't need to add anything else. You could, excuse me, don't look at this center. You could do one of these centers. This is a center that I won't be using on any of my wreaths because I have too much glue. You could say, all right, I'm done. I'm going to put one of these corded centers in and call it a day. Well, I know I showed you guys how to do these corded centers well over a year ago, but it seems like everybody in the wreath world that makes flowers are doing these now. So I started a trend, I know. But so you could do that if you like that, okay? And I will link the tutorial on how to use this kind, and then I have one that I do with a foam. So I have other options to use for this, and I will link those in. Now, you can also do like maybe the seeded center look, and I don't have the right color, so I'm just going to kind of show you what. This isn't a very good one, but let's say you wanted to do a yellow one. You could do that. Again, I have YouTube tutorials on this channel to show you how to do that, okay? That's another look. We're not going to do that. What we're going to do is I'm going to teach you how to take this and make a rose. But actually, I got to stop myself here. In order to do the rose center, I'm going to add some more petals to the center, and I believe I'm going to add 6 more. So let's see how many pieces we have over here. Okay, we have 4. So I need to cut just a few more here. I think we're going to need 6. So if you're joining me late in the game here, I start at the 18-inch and I cut it diagonally to the 20-inch. So we just need 2 more, I think. And then let's just do 1 more just to be careful. Now we're going to put these on differently, guys. We're going to do this with pipe cleaners. I'm going to take these right here. And let's see, I'm going to do the same thing that I've been doing. Okay. And you're going to just hold it right there, okay? Can you see what I'm doing? And also, you might have to just fold that over. I'm going to take my pipe cleaner and I'm going to take it over and I'm just going to twist it, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this pipe cleaner and I'm going to use it to go down into that grid, okay? And I'm going to get it pretty much as close as I can, I think, to the bottom of this petal here. Okay, and these are just going to lay like that, and I'm just going to twist. You're just going to twist. Hey, look at that circle. I did pretty good. I'm proud of myself. That's pretty good. All right, so then you're just going to do it again, and I'm going to add a pipe cleaner. So, so I was just talking that I consult people on how to do their, I have a thing called Grow Your Business with Julie. It's Julie's Wreath Boutique. And it's where you purchase it and you get 2 phone calls. And we talk one-on-one, and I take a review of your Etsy shop. I look at your Facebook page. I look at your Pinterest. I look at your Instagram. And we talk about what do you need to do to improve the things that you have on social media. All right? So I've been talking to people, and it's hard when Etsy changes the rules in the middle of the game. When last month the Postal Service decided to just basically, in some cases, it's doubling and tripling the cost of shipping a wreath across the country. And it's like, how do you do that? How do you deal with that with your customer? How do you figure out, okay, how do I still make money? And those are all challenges that we all have to consider. So as you can see, I'm just going from one petal to the next and going to the over here, and we may not even use a full 6 on this. Okay, this is where it gets a little tricky because you can't see as well, and I'm not going to be able to show you as well. So I'm just going to pull that through. But this is because I wanted a smaller center, and I'm going to show you why too, because everybody asks about the star. I've gotten these black stars mainly from flea markets of all places, kind of anywhere they sell Americana stuff. And I got these from, I believe I was in the Amish country in, oh, what's it called? It's in Ohio. Berlin, Ohio, I want to say. So we're going to put another one here. I don't know, maybe we're going to get away with 4 petals. But the stars are really kind of farmhouse, has a farmhouse feel. Okay, I'm having a hard time seeing it, and I don't want to get this too blurry for you because I know that's frustrating. So I'm trying my best. See, I probably should have used a black. It just spent on me. So just be patient. Nothing's perfect. Okay, I'm going to put these in. So if this is your first time watching, let me know that this is your first time watching. Have you liked and followed my page here? Let me know in the comments so I can say hi. So we're going to put one more petal. So as you can see, I'm just twisting that, okay? So we're going to do one more petal right here. So we ended up only using 5 of these, which is great. So let me know. I usually will go back and, usually in the morning after my live, I'll try to go back. If life isn't busy, I have a wedding tomorrow. I'm going to cut that since it's way too long. It's kind of a busy weekend. But it's the summer. We've had really nice weather up here in Michigan. I know. If you watch my YouTube channel, I'll be like, it's snowing, it's ice, and people are like, where do you live? I don't like Michigan. So, okay, so that's going to be the last one. So I'm just going to twist this, and then I'm just going to, what you can also do is twist some of these together if you just want to make it just a little bit more secure. Okay. Also, if you haven't joined Wreath Creators, I bet you all are in it already. Wreath Creators and More, make sure you join that. But yeah, I do have those special groups for people who purchase those tutorials. So anyhow, I've thought about doing a special live in the Christmas tree group about all this Etsy stuff and what I feel about it and all that good stuff. All right. So why did I add an extra layer, guys? I usually don't go this tight. The reason why I added it is if I want to take a star, and all you're going to do, my nails won't let me pick this up. Okay, I would do this. This was $2.69. I would take one of these or a wire, and I would glue it with like a E6000 glue. I wouldn't really recommend the hot glue. Just because I think you need a different glue that's not going to melt in the sun. And then I would just run it down into there. And I believe I've showed that in another video. So you've got this look that you could be doing. Let's see if that looks good in the camera above, because you got to get a thumbnail for Facebook and all that good stuff. And you're just going to, you know, go through here and find some petals that might need to come out a little bit more. So we've got that look. So what I want to do is show you something else, because I know not everybody can get these stars. So let's just put this to the side. And I had this red, it's 2.5 inch burlap. It is on the consumercrafts.com site. And again, July 12th, let's see, 12th, 13th, 14th of 2019, they are offering free shipping. So you can get your 10-inch wreath forms, and you could get this. This is the red burlap. So it's 2.5 inches wide, or you could use ribbon. You could use whatever you have. If you have like a ribbon that you want to try this with, go right ahead. What I did is I took a 2.8 inch ball, let me see here. These 2.8 inch foam circles, and As you can see, I really didn't cut it in half. I cut it more of like a third. So I just want it a little bit. We don't need it to be real thick, okay? So let me cut this to be more straight. And if you've watched me do these, these roses before, you know that I like to fold over my burlap, okay? So you fold over the burlap, and then you're going to fold over a corner again, all right? So take your burlap, 2.5 inches wide. I'm going to fold over it once, okay? Then I'm going to take this tip, and I'm going to fold over it here, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and I'm going to use these, let's see, I really love these little quilter pens. They're like, or tea pens. I'm not sure. Let's get it open first. Here. Do that. Sorry. Why don't these want to open? I had these open. Did I not? Oh, looks like a new box. Okay. I guess I need to open them. That's my bad. I had to open another box, but there wasn't many left. So let's see if that opens it. Yep, there you go. So what I like are these tea pens. Okay. So let's just take this back again and try it. And there's really, it's not a wrong way. You're wanting to form a little mound here to be able to get your rose started. Okay. And if you want to put a little bit of glue there, you can. It's up to you. But I'm just going to put a few pens, okay? So I'm just going to wrap this around it. And you're gonna keep it always folded over. I want to also tell you that, okay? So let's just keep this folded, okay? So right here, I'm going to take it and I'm going to pull it back. And I'm going to kind of squish this down a little bit, and I'm going to put a pen underneath here and here just so that you won't be able to see it, okay? So that it supports the center and that side, okay? Let me put this up. Do you see what I'm doing? So now I'm going to take, and now it's still folded. You got to keep folding it, okay? And you're just going to roll it back. Okay? No, actually, no. That's wrong. I'm doing it wrong. I can't show you guys how to do it. I'm just going to fold it back once. Okay? So you take it, and you're going to fold it back. So, as I'm folding it back, I want to add a pen underneath the base. And where this is, and then that way it's going to get covered up naturally as we go, because that base is going to cover it, okay? And this is going to come up. So it's folded, and you're doing the same motion. You're folding it back once, okay? And you're always going to be putting that pen down here. All right, let's see here. This does get twisted up. That's just the nature. Okay, I'm going to take it and I'm going to fold it back again. And so as we get bigger, it goes underneath. Can you see how that just goes underneath? And how I'm just going to take a pen and I'm going to just pen it. And also, you could also, if you wanted to take a little bit of hot glue and put a little bit of glue at the tip of your pen, you could do that as well. If you want to just make sure that it's going to hold better. And you could even add glue at the end. So I keep just folding it back. So at this point, okay, it's hard to pick these pens up. I'm just going to do it underneath. It's going underneath that rose flap. Okay, come on. Let's undo this. You could probably just like cut off a section, and that would be easier too. So you keep it, remember we're keeping it folded, and we're just going to bend it back, and we're just going to wrap it around. And another pen. So basically on the back side of this, And I'll show you, we're gonna, that one didn't get hit as well, so let me take that one out. Okay. And when you're done, if you want to take some glue and glue it, but the main part is that it's being pinned into the styrofoam. And you could do this on a bigger piece of styrofoam if you want. This is just what I wanted to do because I wanted to make something just really small. Okay. Keep that folded. So, what other colors could you do with this burlap? You could do yellow, orange. You could do a combination of colors. Joann's has really nice fall or seasonal burlap that they sell. So every season they come out like with a new design, which is really nice. So we're almost getting to the end of this here. And then I'll show you how to attach it all. And then we're just going to wrap this burlap around the base of this. So it's getting, you know, it's getting pretty good. There's a little bit of a pen there, so I want to make sure my burlap covers that. So what I would probably do is, if it was showing, I would take a little dab of glue and just, you know, glue it back. But I like using these pens because it just kind of ensures that your rose is going to stay intact, and that's a good thing. And I just kept doing the same thing. I kept folding it back. There's no different method here. And then just penning it underneath. Okay? So just folding it back. Alright. So I think that looks pretty good. What do you guys think? We're going to leave that there. So I'm going to fold this. That's not a pen I want to use. And then I'm just going to take the rest. Take this rust, and we're just going to go underneath here and just cover that bottom base so that everything is covered. All right. So now it's all covered. It's got, you know what? It's got white stuff on it because it's got the styrofoam that I cut. So I got to get that off. Okay. All right, so I'm going to cut off a piece of this here. These are usually not the scissors I would use. These are like my favorite scissors. They're very intricate. And I'm just going to take a floral pen now. I'm going to go like that. Okay. So that is your rosette. I think I like the first rosette I made just a little bit better. But let me show you how are we going to put this in that wreath. We're going to just take a piece of wire and grab a few more floral pens. I'm going to add it right here. Okay. Add another one here, and then, oh, my glue gun is on, good. Then you would just take, a piece of scrap felt. I'm gonna just try a piece to find here. Get my fabric scissors. I'm making a mess. That's okay. Just gonna cut a little piece out of a scrap here. Okay. So then I'm going to just take a piece of glue or a piece of felt, put some hot glue on it. That way we've got those floral wire or floral pens holding it in, but then this just adds a little bit more. And then for an extra little piece of protection, I go on top of it as well. So now let's take this and put this in our wreath. Move everything out of the way. We don't need the star now with the thing showing. You're just going to take it, go right down. That's what I like about that grid in the middle. I don't have to shoot for specific holes. I can just put it right down. So I'm going to just take it and, let's see, make it pretty tight there. And then what I also will do at the end, probably not going to go through this part, and I try to show this to you guys every time, and okay, I don't see one. That's the way it goes. This is way too big, but I just cut out a piece of felt out of 10 inch, and then I connect it with little zip ties. That's it. Nothing special. It just finishes off your wreath, and it's got more of that foam stuff in there. So yeah, so that is another option. So there's so many options. If you like, if you follow me on YouTube, and YouTube is a really good way to, after you've watched this on Facebook, maybe you've watched this in a Facebook Live, I'm trying to put everything up on YouTube just so that it's just kind of a good, easy place for you to go and find all of my stuff. So I mean, I have so many different wreaths. I think I have close to 40 videos up now. And, you know, you can find a different center and do that. So, what did we learn tonight? We learned how we could take a 6-inch roll. So you could take, you know, let me see here. You know, you could do this with just a regular 6-inch roll like this. You could do it with the pattern. They sell a red and black, but there's so many things you could do. Just trying to take, I see the little foamy stuff in from it, but I don't think you really can see it. But anyways, but if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. If you're on Facebook watching me, please follow, like, and share this video. It would be awesome to find more followers so that we can all make beautiful stuff together. So check out my sale on my tutorials. Make sure you join Wreath Creators and More. What else can you do? There's so much to do, but make sure you stay tuned because we will have more exciting things. And I have more exciting mesh to show you. So have a great night. Thank you for spending your Friday night with me, and we'll see you later. Bye.